All right, so we're here with Preston Perkes. He's the Executive Director of Administration with S&S. Preston, how are you doing?
Doing great today.
Awesome. So first, I just want to congratulate you guys on the new facility up in Logan. So obviously that's a big expansion for you guys. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Sure. So we've been in the same place for about 24 years in Logan, Utah. With our growth and the success of our company, it was really necessary to expand. We had no more space in the offices, no more space out in our shop, and really we had recognized for those 24 years how things didn't flow the best. So we were able to design a brand new state-of-the-art facility. We planned it all as far as the manufacturing facility around efficiencies and flow to make sure we can get product through easier and quicker. We made the environment a lot better for our employees from a working standpoint, environmentally with air scrubbers and cleaners and LED lights and heating and cooling systems. And in the offices, we just made a really nice office space for everyone to work. We went from one meeting room to 7 collaborative areas so we can just better work together to build our amazing products.
That's awesome. Well, and clearly you're going to need a lot of space now that we have the largest coaster from S&S coming out. We're standing in front of the Steel Curtain train. Give us a rundown of what we can expect with Steel Curtain.
This is a huge ride for us. We're so excited to partner with Kennywood on it. You know, it's 4,000 feet of track. I mean, that's a major amount of track. It has 2 vehicles, they're both 24 passengers. It's going to set a couple huge records, 9 inversions in the United States. Also has the highest inversion at 197 feet. It's a big deal for us. We're so excited to bring this size coaster to the United States. We've done big rides in China and Asia that maybe a lot of people aren't aware of. To be able to do something like this and show it off here and partner with Kennywood is just real exciting. And you know, on top of that, it's the first I think amusement ride or area to partner with a professional team like the NFL. So you know, it's themed after the Pittsburgh Steelers, which some people love and some people don't like so much. But really, you know, forgetting about the Steelers, it's going to be an amazing ride.
Yeah, for sure. So I have curiosity, why do you think it took so long to get a ride of this caliber out from S&S? Obviously, you mentioned we do have a lot of huge rides, but I mean, this one is humongous, a lot bigger than all of the others.
Yeah, you know, through the years, our company has diversified and grown a lot. We started with our air launch towers. That's really put us on the map, you know, 24 years ago. We went through a time where we diversified, started doing some smaller coasters, some smaller rides. But really what's allowed us to do this type of ride is, first, the partnership and the confidence of the Palace Entertainment Group. To work with them with Dutch Wonderland and show what we can do and have them say, look, we want to work with S&S again. And on top of that, the ownership of Sony, you know, gives us the backing and to be able to do a ride of this size. You know, without that kind of backing, you can't take on a project like this. So they really were a pivotal part and a key part of this as well.
Yeah, definitely. So on Steel Curtain, we see a lot of different elements, definitely an inversion-based layout. So when you guys were coming up with that and you were trying to come up with something different, we have another inverting coaster in Kennywood, Skyrocket. So was one of the goals to kind of add in different elements so it really like sets it apart from the other one?
Well, I mean, I don't think you can even compare them with the size of the ride and the type of ride. Having the 9 inversions, you know, this is something we've been talking with Kennywood for years. I mean, we've been proposing this ride, and if you look at the elements of the ride, you know, you look at that map and see everything that's there, it is so much packed into one ride. It's not just a repeat out and back. You've got a lot there. So I would say, you know, they're just bringing a huge coaster for them. They're bringing an iconic coaster to their park, and that's what they've wanted for years, and this is just the opportunity to do it.
Oh yeah. So when we say Steel Curtain come out, is taking the place of the log flume. And so there was kind of a confined space to work with, but you guys actually ventured out from the area and go out over kind of that main lake in the center. So was that always in the plan, or was there ever a concept where you kind of stick within that original log flume space?
You know, with the log jammer there, they sort of define, with like a lot of parks, what's the allowable space and where can we go? And that wasn't the only layout we did with them. We did a couple other layouts, and really that's one thing that we like to do. We like to work closely with the customer and give them what they want. And so to be able to go out, go over the pond that's out there, come back from the pond, and raise up quite a bit. You know, we worked around that allocated space they had and changed quite a few things. You know, something interesting about that is because of the small amount of space, the lift is really steep. It's a 50-degree angle lift. That's probably as steep as we ever really want to go on a traditional coaster with 24-passenger train. So because of that space, the tightness of it, you know, that's a factor that we had to take into account.
Wow, that's amazing. With Kennywood in particular, a lot of people know who are from Pennsylvania that, especially in that area, the ground is kind of rocky and the soil, you kind of have some issues. So, you know, I would say, would you agree that adding in footers and kind of establishing where it's going to be could be a little bit tricky and maybe could it pose as a limiting factor?
You know, not necessarily from the ground aspect. Besides one area, we worked with them. They have a hill that's sort of on the side of the ride, and we really tried to avoid that hill with the storage and station area. You know, I think some years ago they might have had a little slough of that hill. So, you know, with the history they have, they understand their part, the soil tests. But, you know, for us, we really didn't have to avoid anything besides that. They can drill in, they can put in their caissons and things really wherever they need to. You know, even in the pond area, they drain the pond, they put in the caissons, they put it out there. So, yeah, that hill was really the only thing we really had to avoid.
Gotcha. I want to talk about one element in particular on Steel Current. A lot of people are talking about this one. It's a rare element, a banana roll.
Roll, yeah.
Do you want to talk about the decision to include that one?
You know, that's working with one of our partners here. You know, the person that actually designed the layout that we collaborated with, Joe Draves. You know, he has a lot of great ideas, and he's packed that in there. The banana roll was something I think that, you know, he comes up with some of these ideas and bounces it off us and with the park. You know, and that banana roll, I believe, goes right over the lift. So it's a pretty cool looking thing. So, you know, we don't just go with the typical elements. I mean, if you look at the name of all the elements that have gone through there, we've been pretty creative on putting those things out there.
That's fun. So I know in the past there's been some issues with opening the ride on time due to a few problems here and there. Can we expect Steel Current to be open for Kennywood's opening day next year?
I think it's definitely in the grasp. You know, sometimes we rely on the park to get their footings in place, and the park preparations can delay it. Sometimes the delivery of product can delay it. You know, we've taken some major steps. You know, we decided to partner with certain groups to make sure we had a product that was premium, to make sure when we put it in, it was the smoothest track available. We've taken a lot of extra steps to verify the quality of the product. So Kennywood's ready for us. They got all the footings ready, which is great, the first step. Our product's there. We delivered over 40 truckloads of track. And I don't know how many containers have arrived, but they started erecting the ride last week. So they're well on their way to making that deadline. So weather pending or any major issues, you know, I think we're on schedule. I think we can make it.
Yeah, a lot of the diehards will know that the Steel Current track is actually being constructed by Intermountain Lift.
That's correct.
So trekking that across the country, is that something that you guys really have to plan for when you're bringing it all the way to Pennsylvania?
You know, not really. We're a worldwide company. We ship and manufacture things in China, in Europe, and transport all over the world. So, you know, trucking that within countries is a pretty simple thing. We like to put a couple pieces of track on each truck so we don't have to ship as many trucks. But, you know, the decision to work with IML was specifically about the quality. You know, they are right there in Utah, right next to us. They know what they're doing. They do a premium product, and we're real happy to collaborate and work with them. So it was sort of a no-brainer for us, you know, for this size of ride and what we're doing and the speeds. To put that quality out there is great. You know, and it helps with shipping costs. You know, we built track over in Europe before. You put it in a container, you ship it over, you pay different duties and taxes. So, I mean, that helps a little bit, but really that wasn't our main decision. It was based on who's going to build the track, who's going to give us the best quality of ride.
Well, that's great to hear. Last thing I really want to mention, so we had a couple of viewers that want to know the status of the steeplechase model. Has there been any interest?
There's a ton of interest with steeplechase. You know, since we reintroduced it last year here at the show, we've talked with so many different parks to figure out how does it fit best in our park? What's the best layout? What's the best number of vehicles? You know, capacity and space are both something that everyone looks at. A steeplechase has 2 passengers per vehicle. You know, that's not very many. So we've worked to collaborate. We've just introduced a 4-passenger, you know, one that has 2 passengers in the front on the typical horse and a trailing carriage that has a side-by-side vehicle. You know, that gives them an opportunity to actually lower the rider height a little bit and double their capacity. So that's something new we've sort of introduced here at the show. It's definitely piqued some more interest on that. So we can get more people through the queue lines. We can get more people on the ride. So we've definitely been collaborating, working to fit that in there, and I think that a lot of people are interested in doing that.
Yeah, well, and it's great to hear you guys bring back a true classic from Aero. Do you guys think that you could ever do something like that again with maybe one of the other past ones that Aero did, like the suspended coaster, or kind of one of the other models that's kind of died out since then?
You know, we've had some interest. You know, we specifically have had requests for mine trains, and so, you know, we've worked to actually look at the mine train design, see what we'd have to do. You know, just like with the steeplechase, the original Aero designs that are out there don't necessarily meet today's code requirements and standards. And so we've taken those designs, analyzed them, and figured out what has to happen to bring this product back to life from a code and standard perspective. As well as, you know, we build rides differently now. There's a lot of new technologies, a lot of things out there, so we're also looking at what do we implement into these other rides, these classic rides. So yeah, there's more to come for sure.
Well, that's great to hear. Preston, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.